amazing that Anasuyaben Sarabhai, belonging to an affluent industrial family, took the first step in India towards building the foundation for a trade union. She founded the country's first trade union, the Textile Labor Association, and saved it for the people, for the labor class of this country. She served as its president for about 50 years and worked towards the foundation of INTUC, INTUC, Indian National Trade Union Congress. Though trade unions movement were generally these days held by most powerful men, but it was the base which she founded, and the ethos carries on. And through this trade union movement, she presented a model of harmonious relationship between labor and capital, which has been now incorporated in the Industrial Relations Act and Industrial Dispute Act. It has also presented a very comprehensive labor welfare as well as approach towards the child welfare, both of which have been used by our policy makers since then to formulate programs for labor and child welfare. It was Anasuyaben Sarabhai who not only was a founder of the labor industry, labor unions, she was also a social reformer and a feminist and an intellectual, a nationalist as well as a mother of workers and the poor and downtrodden. Her multifaceted personality, my friend, and her multiple contribution to the Indian society have assured her an important place in the Indian Renaissance. Anasuya Sarabhai was born in 1885 to a wealthy industrialist family in Ahmedabad. Her father was one of the few industrialists who had set up their own textile mills towards the end of the 19th century. She, after a failed marriage, in an early age, she took refuge in religious books. She was highly inspired by the works of Swami Vivekananda, and ultimately she decided to renounce the world and become a Jain Sadhvi. However, destiny had something else for her. The chance meeting with Dr. Irulkar changed this, as the doctor advised her to study medicine if she really wanted or interested in serving the poor or serving the world. She left for England in 1911 at the age of 26. Her stay in England changed the course of her life dramatically. During the study for senior Cambridge, Anasuyaben came across many Indians who later became the prominent leaders of the country. However, on seeing the carcass of a young calf in a shop in London, she decided that she was not cut for medical studies, where one had to dissect and study human bodies. She therefore decided to study social work at the London School of Economics. Here she was exposed to two major ideologies which had tremendous impact on her later life. First of all, she came in touch with the feminist movement in Britain, and it guided most militantly by suffragettes. And secondly, she was influenced by the Fabian social ideology, which later resulted in her initiating the labor movement in India. She returned to India in 1913, fully equipped to undertake her chosen task. My friend, she believed in women's freedom and empowerment. She traveled widely and interacted with men on equal terms. Anasuyaben Sarabhai was very well read and was always willing to learn new things. She had a spiritual instinct and inclination right from a young age, and it continued till end. A courageous lady, an exceptional woman of exceptional ability, and she was essentially a doer. Her pioneering contribution has received less attention than it deserves, but certainly is the most renowned, one of the most renowned lady when it comes to women's in Indian Renaissance. Thank you very much.